I retired in 2013 and picked up the bottle pretty heavy. You know, I had one guy that I was still staying in contact with that I'd retired with, or that I'd worked with before I retired, and that was it. That was my contact with the outside world other than my mother and Violet. Started smoking pot again on a regular basis, dealing pot to my friends.
When I really noticed the change was when he retired and was spending so much time alone. I was, you know, gone 50 hours a week or whatever, and I began seeing some erratic behavior. I knew he was under a lot of pressure.
I'd learned how to buy it on the internet through the dark web, and got introduced again to chemicals. I started with Xanax and cocaine and crystal meth, you know, Molly, you name it.
I was not aware of the depth of the drug addiction. I knew about the alcohol and marijuana. That was what I knew about. And so then I started noticing that changes in him, and very erratic behavior, anger, outburst, throwing furniture, just I did not feel safe any longer.
Violet came home early one day, and I had the drugs out, and she knew then, you know, well, she come home, I'd been drinking. There was a couple empty fifths on the counter. I had a gun in my hand. I'd passed out on the bed. I'd already called my friends, my cousin, my brother-in-law, and told them, you know, I'm out of here, I'm done.
When I came home that night and found him passed out and the empty fifths and realized that it was very, very serious.
I do not know what happened until I woke up. I drank myself into a coma with the drugs and alcohol, passed out, unconscious. The squad picked me up and took me to the ICU, where I guess they kept me for about 3 days and even had me on life support for a while. I woke up 3 days later in ICU. They took me from ICU to Copestone, rolled me down the hall and took me to Copestone. Still nobody's talking, not telling me what's going on. It was a big, you know, I didn't know, you know, I couldn't remember anything. I didn't know how bad it really was. You know, at Copestone, the doctor started talking to me. How long am I gonna be here? Well, as long as it takes, you know.
I felt that it was time for me to go. So I left with no intention of coming back ever again.
The first night at Copestone was Christmas Eve. And I got down on my knees beside that bed and told him, you know, from now on, I'm gonna surrender. I'm gonna do this, you know. This is something I've never done before. I want to give it to you, and I want to, you know, I want to have a relationship. When I got out and everything, realized what had happened, I knew I had problems. I knew Violet was gone. 41 years of marriage was over.
The love was gone. I didn't feel anything for Jim anymore. I did not want to go back to Jim.
The county sent me to 3 months of substance abuse programs. While I was waiting, I was on curfew, so I couldn't come over here to the man cave until 6 o'clock. So I had to wait for 3 months. And this was January, so it was about May, end of April, 1st of May, first time I came to the cave. And I'd been in contact with Steve, and I knew about the cave. Steve invited me years ago, 6, 7 years back when the cave started. When I come in here, I remember how intimidated I felt, you know, and how uncomfortable it was. And then I found out everybody in here is just like I am, you know. They've got problems too. It may not be the same issues, but we all, you know, none of us are perfect. No judgment, none whatsoever. You know, I was able to come in here and share what was going on, and I had, you know, an ear, you know, to listen, and this was, you know, an answer to prayer. I needed that. I needed the accountability. I needed the relationships.
There were times when I reached out to Steve. Once I saw that he was coming to the man cave, and people would let me know he's taken this very seriously. He's went through all the substance abuse, counseling and classes and all of those type of things. And now he's in a 12-step program with Celebrate Recovery. As we began to communicate, this is not Jim. This is not the man that I left. It's not the man that I knew for 41 years. He was different. I'm talking to a different person. He was calm, he was caring, he was kind. I came back in January of 2021, and then in March, Jim and I were remarried here at the Man Cave.
I took Celebrate Recovery, started in May of 2019. Went 14 months with The Journey Begins, signed up for The Journey Continues, done that 12 steps, and am getting ready again next month to take it again, to start over again, right? I've got a sponsoring somebody now, and that was the idea, to come in and stay in it, for me, for myself, but also, to be able to help somebody else maybe.
The Man Cave has changed his life.